Welcome, soldiers. Today, I wanted to address a question I hear a lot in streams, and people ask it in different forms. But when it comes down to it, the question is, am I really saved? Am I really saved? Some people say, can I be forgiven? Some people say, I sin all the time. Am I truly a believer? Things like that come in different forms. So what I wanted to do was make a video to address that question. Now, my intent in this video is not necessarily to assure you of your salvation, because I can't do that. I'm not the one who accepts. I am the commander, and all I can do is direct you to the truth. So with that being said, I want to show you a story in the Old Testament where salvation is offered, but it's in a peculiar way. And I think from that story, we can draw out what it means to be saved in a different way. Maybe you haven't heard of it. So, if you will, travel with me all the way back to the book of Numbers, chapter 21. Let me pull it up here. Chapter 21, verses 4 to 9. Let me pull that up real quick. Numbers 21, verses 4 to 9. I'm going to read it and we'll talk about it. The bronze snake. They traveled from Mount Hor along the route to the Red Sea to go around Edom, but the people grew impatient on the way. They spoke against God and against Moses and said, "Why have you brought us up out of Egypt to die in the wilderness? There is no bread, there is no water, and we detest this miserable food." Then the Lord sent venomous snakes among them. They bit the people, and many Israelites died. The people came to Moses and said, "We sinned when we spoke against the Lord and against you. Pray that the Lord will take the snakes away from us." So Moses prayed for the people. The Lord said to Moses, "Make a snake and put it up on a pole. Anyone who is bitten can look at it and live." So Moses made a bronze snake and put it up on a pole. Then when anyone was bitten by a snake and looked at the bronze snake, they lived. Very interesting story. The Israelites are in the wilderness, sinning, unbelieving, grumbling, complaining, as they often did. And the Lord sent snakes among them to bite them. Justified, they were guilty, they lacked faith, they disobeyed God. Now, the thing was this: they were guilty, they were bitten, the poison was killing them. The remedy that the Lord offered was to put a bronze snake on the pole and to look at that bronze snake on the pole and live. Now, I want you to put yourself in the shoes of the Israelites. If you were just bitten by a snake that God had sent because you sinned against him, your gut reaction, your instinct would be to try to fix yourself. Why would the God who struck you be the one to save you? You would be looking at the bite, maybe trying to push the poison out of your bloodstream. Maybe you'd be looking for remedies. You'd be just searching on the ground for more snakes, trying to avoid all the snakes possible. Your focus would not be on the solution that God provided you. It would be on yourself. Why? Because you're guilty, and rightfully so. But in the midst of the snakes, in the midst of the guilt, in the midst of the inclination to want to focus on yourself, the remedy was to look to the bronze snake, a reminder of their sin, a reminder of their judgment, and to live. What does this mean? A lot of people ask, am I really saved? And just like the Israelites who are in the desert trying to fix the problem, trying to focus on the poison, the snakes, the fact they're guilty, they miss the whole point. To look to the snake and to live is a solution, not to look at your problem and try and fix it. When it comes to salvation, Jesus Christ is the bronze snake that was lifted on the pole and crucified. He is a visual and symbolic reminder of our sin and the judgment against us. Yet so many people come and ask, am I really saved? What they're really saying is that my focus is on myself. I've done so much. How could God forgive me? I am trying this, I'm trying that, but I can't seem to get the poison out of me. I can't seem to shake the sin that I'm so easily beset by. But the remedy is to look and to live, to look at the cross by faith. The faith is looking to the cross. The faith is believing in the work that God has done. That even though you're a sinner, while you're yet a sinner, Christ died for you. That is the looking. That is the faith that aligns you with salvation. But so many times we can be so caught up in the wrong things, so focused on the things that do not profit us. If the solution was in fighting the poison, then Christ wouldn't matter. If the solution was trying to get away from the snake or trying to kill the snake, then Christ would not matter. But God says, look and live. And even today, he says, have faith in me. So instead of asking yourself, am I really saved? You should ask yourself, where does my focus lie? Does it lie in myself? Does it lie in my good works? Does it lie in my bad works? Does it lie in my efforts? Does it lie in the fact that God should have never forgiven me in the first place? Or does it lie in what God has done despite myself? But then let's analyze the faith. Is your faith a dead faith or a faith that is alive? Do you look with truth? Do you look with an active faith, or do you look with a dead faith? I can't always say, look at, like I said in the beginning, I can't always analyze someone and say you're saved or you're not, but the Bible does describe what true faith is. True faith looks to God and beholds him, for lack of a better term, and beholds what he's done and is transformed and changed by it. Dead faith looks to God, looks to the cross, looks at what God has done for us, even in spite of our sin, turns away and continues to live the very same life that you lived before. That is a description of dead faith. Dead faith does not save, but faith that is alive, that looks to Christ and is changed by what has happened, is faith that saves you. So you have to ask yourself, is looking to Christ transforming me, or is looking to Christ, or am I looking to Christ and remaining the same? That would be an indication that your faith is not real at all, that you're looking as maybe a ticket to get out of hell, but not necessarily as looking to the Lord as your Savior, as your Lord, as your lifeline. So last thing I'll say is that then am I giving you something else to worry about? Is my faith really real? Even if that is something that you have to ask yourself, the solution is the same. It is to look to Christ. It is to look to his word. It is to dive deeper into what Christ has done, to understand the benefits as it applies to you, to understand the character of a God who would send his son to die for you. Looking to him in faith is still what saves. So again, it's not necessarily, am I this, am I that, is my faith real? Analyzing your faith, yes, you should test yourself to see if you're in the faith, but at the same time, the object of your faith is not your faith. The object of your faith is Christ. So look and live. Again, look and live. And if you're not sure you're looking the right way, look more and ask God to open your heart to show you the truth so that you might look by faith and be saved. Commander out. Stay savage.